Hey guys, what's going on? It's 2 minutes to review. I'm Matt.
And I'm Zach.
Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing to our little show we got going on here. If you haven't joined us for a 2 minutes to review episode before, longest album review in under 2 minutes wins. We are continuing the trend here. In 2021, lots of highly anticipated albums coming out this year. This one, no exception.
It's almost like, something happened last year where a lot of bands were like, oh, I don't think the time's right to release new music. I don't know.
I don't know. I went from 2019 to 2021. 2020 was a blur. It's like it never happened.
All kidding aside, though, if you want to talk about a band that actually really did a lot of good in 2020, both for local charities, but also just for people's sanity, it was Dropkick Murphys.
Yes, absolutely.
Just the live streams. They were one of the first bands pretty much almost immediately after things started shutting down to do a live stream concert with since they had to cancel those St. Patrick's Day performances.
And they were all free. Let me just note that too. They were all free.
All free. And then even the Fenway show, which I'm sure cost a pretty penny for them to just put together, where they performed in an empty Fenway, and they raised a lot of money. They raised a lot of morale. In fact, I don't know, Matt, if you felt this way, but when they announced the 2021 St. Patrick's Day live stream, it actually made me a little sad, because it was like, oh man, I remember watching the 2021 thinking, all right, it's going to be a few weeks. Like, there was still, back then it was still a little hope that things could turn around sooner than later. And then it was like, yep, cancel again, but here's a live stream. It was a little...
Yeah, I kind of came from the other perspective on that. It's like, damn, I remember a year ago we were watching a Dropkick Murphys live stream when this first started, and we thought it'd be over by now. And here we are, and we're doing it again. And I'm still kind of in shock that we're here a year later, but
yeah,
at least we're here a year later now with a brand new one from the Dropkick Murphys. Turn up that dial.
Album number 10. And for the past 25 years, the first thing you think about when you think of Boston, Irish, Celtic, punk, it's the Dropkick Murphys. Sorry to make you feel old, Matt, but yeah, it's been nearly 25 years since they've been delivering it, going hard. And we were really excited to get a chance to... Oh, we're really excited to give the new Dropkick Murphys album, Turn Up That Dial, a listen, even just for a little distraction, because that's what they're always great for. So you know what? Without further ado, Matt, if you don't mind, I would like to go first.
And you can go first. But before we do that, just got to say a big shout out to our sponsor, the Lucky 13 Beard Company.
That's
handmade small batch beard balms and oils right here in our home state of New Jersey. If you'd like to purchase any beard balms and oils, they're great. They're amazing. They got some amazing scents. Just head on over to their Etsy shop, etsy.com/shop/Lucky13, the number 13, Beard Co. And whatever you put in your cart, use the code EFP10. You'll get 10% off your small batch handmade beard balms and oils right from the Lucky 13 Beard Company.
Again, use the code EFP10 to receive 10% off. You can't beat that. That's so awesome. Thank you again to our sponsors for doing that. Now, I would like to start.
You ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, I'm going to say something that's going to sound weird, but stick with me. The Dropkick Murphys are to punk rock what the Mamma Mia musicals are to movies. They're just fun. Neither are trying to revolutionize their genre or medium. It's just there to bring you joy. You can be cynical if you want and say, oh, it's not as good as their old stuff, or it all sounds the same at this point. But I dare you to look me in the face and tell me that you didn't get a little bit of joy just from hearing Queen of Suffolk County, or Mick Jones Ain't My Pudding, or Lee Boy, or Smash It Up, or even just the title track. If you didn't just start bobbing your head, then maybe you were just never really into the Dropkick Murphys. Sorry, yeah, I said it. At this point, there's a formula with every Dropkick Murphys album. They never go too far away from it. Maybe it's a little overdone or not. I still find it enjoyable, because in the end of the day, and what makes this album, what they even went into this album to do, the Dropkick Murphys are just there to bring you fun, a little bit of a distraction from the real world, just for 30 to 40 minutes, just like their live shows. It's just an escape. And if you're really looking for more out of a Dropkick Murphys album, what were you even looking for to begin with? To just say it at the end, it's a fun, purely enjoyable record.
And your star rating, sir?
Out of 5 stars, because I realize we don't really make it clear that we're doing it as out of 5. And I feel like maybe people are like, oh my God, only 3 stars? I'm like, no, that's actually good. 3.5. I'll admit, I'm probably not going to be going back to this album for multiple listens in a month or two. Will I enjoy hearing these songs live? Sure. It's just a fun record. And to be over cynical about it, it's just, you're missing the point. And it's just fun.
All right, a fair assessment.
Are you ready, Mr. Gamba?
Yep, let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go.
So with Dropkick Murphys, you usually know what you're going to get with their brash Irish attitudes, accordions, and penny whistle solos, and that really doesn't change at all on this album. But what does change here is that this is a very much so mature hometown sounding album, with a little less than half of the tracks containing a lot of relatable themes. Songs like LEEBOY, Queen of Suffolk County, HBDMF, City by the Sea, and I Wish You Were Here, which is not a cover of Pink Floyd, but all those very relatable songs. And while there is still a lot of that mature content, by no means is that all that this album has to offer. A very interesting song with Mick Jones, Nick My Pudding. It's a supposedly real song of one of the friends of the bands had Mick Jones steal the pudding out of a community fridge at a recording studio. But also on that particular tune, it is really really obvious that they do some Clash style riffing on there, and also obviously the album cover does take a little bit of inspiration from London Calling. So yeah, you can see the Clash references on this one. They do still deliver their fair typical Dropkick Murphys brash style tracks like Middle Finger, Smash Shit Up, Turn Up That Dial, and my personal favorite, Good as Gold. But what's the most interesting to me is that they do release one of their most polarizing songs because it's political. Do you ever think you'd go to a Dropkick Murphys album for political? But depending on your views of the country right now, Chosen Few talks about how we've been divided up until this point and we need to meet in the middle. I completely agree with it. However, most people are probably either A, not going to listen to the song, or they're just going to be completely just not wanting to get into this because, well, it's a Dropkick Murphys album, and that's not what you're looking for when you get into the Dropkick Murphys.
All right, we got a time. So, out of 5 stars, what is your ranking?
We're going to go 3.5.
3.5?
Yeah. I really feel like you said, there is a formula to the Dropkick Murphys. It really started to feel like that once they really hit it big with Shipping Up to Boston, at least in my opinion, and the Warrior Code album. But from there, they always seem to either have songs that borrow riffs, like Prisoner Song does kind of borrow from Shipping Up to Boston. There's a couple of tracks on here that you're going to hear maybe a little bit of influence here and there, not as much as in the past, but they still have like those songs about people like the Queen of Suffolk County and LEEBOY, because that's the name of the track. It's not Lee Boy, but
I say Lee Boy.
Yeah, I know you do. But they do have these tracks, and they do make reference to other tracks like I think it was Spicy McHaggis that they make reference to in one of the songs. But they have these similar songs that they do on other albums, and it's not a bad thing, but it's just formulaic, like you said at this point. That makes a lot of sense. It's a very formulaic album, and even if their intent was to not revolutionize and just to help you forget something, I do feel songs like Good as Gold and Smash Shit Up actually do that a little bit more than these other ones. Are they fun? Yes. But I mean, they could have easily, in my opinion, dropped off HB, DMF, and they should have definitely dropped off Chosen Few. I don't think that those tracks really are the things that you need on a Dropkick Murphy song, especially HBDMF.
Yeah, I actually felt that was the weakest song. It sounded like a Barr band's lazy attempt to write a happy birthday song for one of their friends.
It really is. It's like they were listening to the Beatles do the Happy Birthday song at some point. Like, why don't we have something like that? So yeah, let's just go do it.
I mean, I
So,
kind of appreciate that. Like, it takes a turn to be like, okay, enough of. It's not a week; it's a day. Just enjoy the day. Which I kind of like. All right, that's kind of fun, but I don't need a Happy Birthday song from the Dropkick Murphys. I just don't.
Yeah.
So I agree. That could have been eliminated easily.
But then like, yeah, also there's like no vinegar behind it, like Middle Finger or Smash It Up. Like you feel there's some oomph behind these songs.
I actually really love. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was about to say I don't believe them on that Happy Birthday song.
Oh no, not at all. I actually really like the song "Queen of Suffolk County." It's one of the lighter, more Irish tune, like rooted songs, but it's got a fun. It's just fun to it.
It is fun. I never said that they're not. It's just
no, absolutely.
They have other types of songs like this. So for some reason, I just key in on that. It's like, did you really need another song like that?
I mean, you can make the argument, did we really need another Dropkick Murphys album? I mean, that's the thing. It's just, I really went into this album with no expectations, not even expecting something new or different. Granted, is not always the best thing to say when going into a new album, but it helped a little bit being like, all right, just this is what it is. It's fun. You're going to have songs that kind of sound like their past stuff.
They kind of smell like their past stuff, like a bad bar.
Yeah, smell it. No, it sounded like smell. I know. Honestly, you could have told me this was a different album, and I probably would have believed you that it was like an album from 2006 versus now. But it's still, I don't know. At no point did I feel like the band was phoning it in, except for that Happy Birthday song, which I also really appreciate.
Yeah, it's definitely not phoned in. If you think that our comments are saying Dropkick's phoning it in on this, it's not. It's just they have their ways about them. They're set in their ways at this point in their career, I feel like.
They are the Boston Irish version of AC/DC.
Yeah.
They do the same song over and over again, but they still do a great job at it.
All right, we'll go with that. I'll take that.
And listen to our review of AC/DC's latest album, Power Up, to see what we mean. Nice little plug there. Yeah, I know. Now I think it's time to find out who gave the longest review in under 2 minutes. So, Matt, how'd I do?
You, for the first... Well, actually, no. For the second time in a while, you've managed to stay under 2 minutes. Woo-hoo! You came in at 1 minute and 34 seconds.
Ooh, that's a short one.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of sad. That's a little too short.
Uh-huh. So now where do I sit?
Especially compared to your 1 minute and 55 second review.
Boom.
With 5 seconds
amazing
to spare.
At this game. I'm amazing at this game.
Amazing?
Yes.
Well, it doesn't really matter what we think. What matters is what you all think. Did you agree with our comments? Did you enjoy Dropkick Murphys' 10th full-length album? Let us know on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Epic Footnote. Also, comment and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Let us know what you think. At Epic Footnote as well. Once again, special shout out to our sponsor, Lucky 13 Beard Co. Use the code EFP10 when you go to etsy.com/shop/Lucky13Beard Co. Use that code EFP10. You'll get 10% off of your order. You got a beard or know some of a beard, this is the perfect gift to get. Thanks so much for listening, and we hope you tune in for another episode real soon.
Ship you up to Boston.